Hi there, Mickey Mankus here, and welcome to Out the Back Door. Today I'd like to share with you a method of preserving dried foods so you have a longer shelf life. Join me. There's many different ways of preserving food, but when you have dried food, an excellent way of doing it is taking the air away from it, the oxygen, which causes food to spoil. Today I want to share with you how I use a vacuum sealer in order to put up a lot of my foods. I try to take advantage of the fact of buying in bulk, large quantities when things are on sale. I vacuum seal a lot of my foods in the bags themselves, and then what I'll do is I'll store them into plastic 5-gallon buckets and seal them up. I also have plastic totes that I go and I put my bags in, and then I label the outside, so then I know exactly what's in each container and I can locate the food that I want right away. I do an assortment of rices that I use. I've done my beans. I've also done my wheat berries. I use wheat berries to grind up for flour, but I also use canning jars. One of the methods I do use besides canning and freezing to preserve my foods is I do dehydrate. And I do have some of my dehydrated pineapple here. I have pumpkin seeds here that I've roasted and I've canned up. I've got carrots here that I grew. And yes, they don't look the prettiest because I actually leave my peels on. I know there's some controversy between that, whether to leave your peels on or not when you're going to can or dehydrate or something like that. I do scrub my root vegetables very well before I do any canning or dehydrating of them and storing them. But I think there's so many nutrients in the peels themselves. Why am I going to peel that off and toss them out? So that's why they look like they do. I love Turkish figs and medjool dates, and they're very expensive, and I don't want them to go to waste. So I've canned up a bunch of those in smaller jars. Snack crackers. Snacks are an excellent thing to can up, vacuum seal them, to keep them fresh longer. I bought a lot of different crackers when they were on sale, and I've canned these up so that they'll last longer. I also can up craisins, raisins, any other type of fruit like that too, besides like the figs. Hawthorn berries. I want to show you something though. Talking about dehydrating a little bit. Please, if you do dehydrate, make sure that your food is dry as possible, that you don't have any moisture in there before you go and vacuum seal them or even store them in a baggie or whatever your choice is, because I don't know if you can see this or not. I bought these from our local cooperative, and I bought them bulk, and I sealed them right away when I got them home. There's mold. I can't get the top off. They're sealed well. So there had to have been moisture in these at one point before I got them into my jar when I got them home. So I'm gonna have to go and toss out this whole entire jar. Wild rice is native to Minnesota, and I love wild rice. So I actually go and vacuum seal my wild rice so it stays fresh. I'm actually using a Tattler lid on this. This works also beside your metal lids. Talking about crackers, animal crackers. When the grandchildren come over, sometimes myself, I like to snack on these a little bit too. So I buy them in really large bags, and then I go and put them in individual jars, seal them up so that they stay fresh, and then I just open one jar at a time. Okay, you thought that I ate healthy for the most part. Candy bars, yes. The joke is, oh, I canned, and you see a jar of candy. Actually, you can can candy bars. You're gonna vacuum seal can them. My husband and I were making s'mores one evening while we were sitting around the fire pit. And I said, well, so how's the chocolate bars? And he goes, fine, why? And I said, because they're from 2017. and it's 2020 right now. And he's like, "Are you trying to poison me?" And I said, "You didn't taste anything wrong with them. Just eat your s'mores." So anyway, I did find some cookies and cream. I kind of like those. I call it morale food. Every now and then I do pop this open and I may treat myself to a candy bar or whatever. But they do stay fresher as long as you're taking the oxygen out. They stay fresher longer. Once you do open these also, you can reseal them again. That's not a problem. So I want to show you how. I generally use Tattler Lids when I do my canning, but I save all of my old canning lids that are in good shape. And yes, there's a marking on here, but I'm going to show you what you can do to remove it easily. Well, I have a little spray bottle of isopropyl alcohol. Just a little spritz on there and a cloth. Comes right off. Excellent. And then you can put your new date on there. You can write on there what it is in the date so that you can keep track of it. I am able to identify this, so I'll just put the date on there. The Food Saver system comes with 2 different vacuum caps here that fit onto wide mouth and regular mouth canning jars. Actually, many people are doing this right now, and they're kind of hard to come by, but I will leave a link below in case you're interested in something like this. I'm going to place this on top. You have an adapter hose here that comes with the Food Saver, and there's a little outlet here, hole to plug it into, and then I'm going to put this into the top. Pull this out and remove the top, and there. Now I can lift it by the lid and it's sealed. I still put canning bands on them and tighten them down. And like I said, I will date it. I'm just gonna put 7/20/20. With the dry cloth, I'm wiping off the rim also. Just like in regular canning, you need your rim to be clean. I put my lid on, and now I'm gonna use the wide mouth. Attach this. Oh, that's sealed well. I want to share a little tip. I've gone and drawn a circle with the lid over what the ingredient is, what this is. And also it's showing me how much water and how much milk to mix together. So I have the directions on there. I'm going to cut this out, and then I'm going to place it on top of the lid that's already sealed. And then I'm going to put my band on there. Put my band on there and screw it down. And now I have all that information on the top. I was in my jar not long ago for the wild rice, and I'm going to show you how you can reseal them again. I am using my Tattler Lids with the rubber gasket. I set that back on, and this is a regular mouth instead of wide. So I'm going to put the other adapter cap on here. Same process though. And that's done. For some reason or another, and I've heard other people make the same comment, it seems like this gasket that fits inside the regular mouth likes to come out a lot, but you just pop it right back in. And now my jar is sealed again. But like I said, I will put the band on just to make sure. I want to show you another method of vacuum sealing your canning jars without electricity, without using an actual Food Saver or other brand of a vacuum sealer. It's a brake bleeder. And I saw Heidi on Rain Country Channel doing this, and it was like, hey, I need to try that out. I'll also put up a link of the day that I received this, because I had no clue what was in that box that showed up. And that was interesting. So anyway, the brake bleeder actually has a gauge on it, and you're going to be pumping this up. The brake bleeder kit that I purchased has different size tubes and everything. I should say different length tubes, and it has a bunch of different fittings. This is the one that's going to work the best with you're still using the Food Saver mason jar caps for vacuum sealing. So I'm going to do the candy bars, for example. I'm going to place my metal lid on here, and then the cap. All right, you're going to have to hold this down in place because the tube that we had for the food saver actually does not fit into this tube. I tried working this out where I was going to get this to fit onto here somehow or another because I was going to cut this up and everything. Well, it's not going to work. If you figure out how to make it work, let me know. Anyway, all right, so all you're going to do is you're going to actually pump this up. You're going to pump this up to like 15 pounds. Okay, there's 15 pounds. And our jar is sealed. So this is an excellent tool to use for vacuum sealing dry products like in the mason jars, especially if you're prepping and you're stocking up your shelves with food storage that you are getting ready to use down the line. Well, I hope this was useful and helpful for you, giving you another option of food preservation. If you like this video, please consider subscribing, hit that notification bell, give me a thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions about any of this, please leave them below. I really would like to hear from you. So I hope you have a good day, and God bless.